All right, folks, Democratic Party is going to be doing some stuff here in South Orange County, and Democratic Club is always on top of that. You got some big elections coming up. We've got some other things happening this week. I want to welcome Jeannie Lepowski and Alan Feldman to our program. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Well, thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So on the 21st, the day after the inauguration, you have an open mic election installation for officers. What's that all about?
Right. Well, it's the first meeting of the year for us. So what we're doing is electing and installing the officers, the club officers. They're elected on a yearly basis. So we'll be electing a president, vice presidents, treasurer, secretary. And there are people nominated for these offices, but at the meeting, club members can nominate other club members or themselves to run for these offices also. There are people that are currently running, but others can run too. And after the election, the new officers will be installed by Laguna Woods Mayor, City Council member Shari Horn. So, and normally at our meetings, our regular meetings, we have a speaker. But at this meeting, the members are going to be the speakers. We're doing an open mic. We started doing this in the summer. We've had 2 of them so far, and they've had a good response to them. So we're trying one this is the first one we're doing at our regular monthly meeting. And any club member, you do have to be a club member to speak, but any club member can sign up. There'll be a sign-up sheet or a whiteboard there, and then get up and speak. Not quite sure of the time, how much time they'll have. I mean, it'll be 2 minutes or 3 minutes, something like that, because there'll be a lot of people. And what we do is try to focus it on one topic. Otherwise, everybody will be talking about something else.
A little bit of everything.
We'll be all over. So, since this is the first meeting of the new year, and, as we've gone through life, we discovered that the future has a strange way of quickly becoming the present. We are looking forward. We're trying to the next couple of years, asking people to tell us what what kind of speakers they're interested in, what kind of legislative action that they're interested in the club taking, and then just the general direction of what the Laguna Woods Democratic Club should do, and also what the Democratic Party should do. I think it's a kind of an opportunity for people to say what they've been thinking, say in public what they've been thinking. And it's also, I think, a good idea for the new officers to hear what people are interested in. And there are going to be new officers. There's going to be 2 members of our board, a number of officers of the club, including the president, vice president for 16 years. Sue Deering is stepping down, and another board member, the secretary, who has been doing it for 10 years, is stepping down. So there will be new blood in there. Blood.
And speaking of that, Jeannie, your club is a little bit different than the other clubs, like the bocce club or the Scrabble club. You have a certain responsibility because you guys are able to support candidates. Right. You have speakers come in, and so the new officers, they kind of need a little bit of a learning curve to understand what they can and can't do as officers, right?
Right. Yeah, that's true. And although there is a training session that everybody has gone through the County Democratic Party organization, and so I think people are, in terms of, the what, the implementation is going to be new, but they know what they're supposed to do and what they're not supposed to do. But the other way in which we, as a club, influence politics is through the California Democratic Party, and there's something called the California
three-legged stool.
The three-legged stool, yeah. The Democratic State Central Committee, as the graphic shows, and one of the legs of the Central Committee, of the California Central Committee, is called the Assembly District Delegates, or ADEMs, and these are elected by us as members of the clubs and members of the party. And so what they're elected to do is to support, to decide which candidates to support at the local level, at the state level, at the county level. So that election is coming up, and we have there's a a link that people can go to register in order to vote, and voting is going to happen, I forgot what day, I think the 23rd or the 24th. And the other way that people can support candidates and decide on candidates is later in the year. There's going to be an endorsement conference, and that'll be for us as club members to vote on which candidates we want to see. And we have the possibility, if enough people vote in favor of a given candidate, to make that decision at that endorsing conference. But that's later in the year. But what matters is that depending on how large our membership is, the larger the membership, the more representation we have there. So that's really important too.
Okay. Now, talk a little bit about the TV programs you guys have coming up and other activities that are kind of going on inside the club, because you guys do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, we try. Can I just say one thing about the
Sure.
ADEM election too? There's a really good website that has all the information that you need, and it also tells you how to register for the ADEM election. You have to be a registered Democrat, and you have to register especially for this. The website is adem.kdem.org. So that's A-D as in David, E-M, standing for ADEM, KDEM, C-A-D-E-M, that's California Democratic Party.org.
Okay.
So ADEM.CADEM.org.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Now, back to TV. We do have two TV programs. Normally, we record our meetings and broadcast them on Village TV. But in December, we had our holiday celebration, so we didn't want to videotape all the debauchery and revelry that went on.
It's a little wild.
We instead we're showing an interview, which is really this interview sounds dry, but this is really interesting. There's two people. It's Adam Tobias and Jeannie Lee. And Adam, I think, is the current leader of a group called the Young Democrats of California, and Jeannie was a former leader of that organization. And people talk about politics that's kind of the same way they talk about horse racing and baseball. The audience is old. We need younger people. How do you get younger people? These are younger people. These are young Democrats, and they're very interesting. Their point of view on where the party is now, and their point of view of how to attract younger people, and how to keep them there, and what other organizations can do to help them. So that's on, I think, on Wednesdays at 3 o'clock, and on Sundays at 3:30. It's another show that the Democratic Club was producing called Black in Laguna Woods, and in April, the Laguna Woods City Council for January. The Laguna Woods City Council member and president of the African American Heritage Club, Annie McCary, and Willie Phillips, who's the vice president of the African Heritage Club, and also vice president of Community Bridge Builders, talking about their perspective on the election as people of color, what it means to them. And also, if I could just mention too, we're having on this Saturday, January 18th. There's going to be throughout the country women's marches in favor of women's rights, supporting women's rights and reproductive rights. The closest one we could find to here was in Los Angeles, and I don't even know if that's going to go on anymore. But so we're going to have our own. It's going to be our usual demonstrating spot. Excuse me. Across El Toro Road, right in front of Laguna Woods City Hall, from 12 to 2 on Saturday.
Okay,
and it's
get out there with your signs and march, and some pink hats. And
sign waving, really.
All right. Well, lots of good information as always. Alan G. from the Democratic Club, great to have you guys in, and we'll see you again next month.
Oh, we will indeed. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely.
And I want to add one thing. We have, in February, we have a really interesting program.
Okay, real quick, I'm going to hit that for you. Public safety in Orange County in California, reality versus hearsay, very timely for our right time right now, what's going on in LA. It's going to be Tuesday, February 18th, 7 p.m., Clubhouse 2 in the main lounge. Get out there, go to the Democratic Club website for more information on that one. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you. Couldn't have done that any better.
And Bree's going to be coming right back with the Republican Club. We got it all going on today.